This is the Actors Room, episode 113. My name is Jeff Tarowski. Welcome back. And this week we talk about the documentary put out by HBO titled Allen versus Farrow. Folks, it's not going to be a long episode. I'm going to give my opinions on the documentary, the situation, and the like. I hope you enjoy it and would love to hear your opinions as well. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for listening, and here we go.
So preposterous, and yet the smear has remained, and they still prefer to cling to, if not the notion that I molested Gillen, the possibility that I molested her.
In one corner, you have Woody Allen coming in at a height of 5'5", weighing 110 pounds. And in the other corner, you have Mia Farrow, also standing at 5'5", weighing 110 pounds. Evenly matched. But how even is it? How much do you believe Woody Allen and how much do you believe Mia Farrow? And if you've watched the documentary put out by HBO called Allen versus Farrow, it's mostly the viewpoint of Mia Farrow. It's her doc, it's her people, and that's all you need to know about that. You got to watch that documentary, and remember, it's from Mia Farrow's point of view. So, those of you who watched the documentary, I would love your opinions on this. Do you know the history of Mia Farrow and her kids? And if you don't, I'm just going to give you a brief summary of Mia and her adopted kids. There are several kids that she adopted throughout time from other countries and things like that. When I look at that from the outside, a woman, no matter where she is in the world, adopts several kids from other countries. I think for me, you're feeling a void in you, this a gaping hole of emotion. You're filling it with something else. And it's done with great intentions. But I find it strange. And she has many adopted kids. And the history of that, and if you want to do research on how the kids feel about Mia and their future and how they ended up, most of them have either committed suicide, had been homeless, or have severe issues. Now, adopted kids have had a past that was not good. And how badly were they before Mia took them in? And then how much do you believe some of the adopted kids' stories about Mia? Now, we're not there. We don't know what goes on. We just hear stories. But from what I hear, it's not easy to raise adopted kids because you don't really know their past. And Mia tried to find out what made these kids tick before she had them. So I don't want to place too much concern about that in regards to the viewpoint that I have on Mia. I think Mia's childhood in itself was a mess. She had an alcoholic father. He was a womanizer. And they were all sort of in the entertainment field. So it was sort of messy. And Mia's brother is a pedophile and went to prison for it. A lot of history with Mia. And then, you have Woody Allen. And those of you who listen to my show, I highlighted Woody Allen about 2-3 years ago about that. And I express in my show from the very beginning the allegations and sort of the mindset of Woody Allen sexually. I made it quite clear that it's as plain as day how Woody feels about women. He adores women. But sexually, he prefers them young. And when I say young, I mean 17 and 18. This is no joke. This is truth. And if you watch Woody Allen films, he puts that bit of information in his films. He never covered it up. It's not a mystery. When he looks at a woman, he prefers them young. This is no surprise. I don't understand how this concept blows people's minds. He likes younger women. He doesn't fall for kids. There isn't a history of Woody Allen liking kids. Young women? Yes. Yes, it's out there. There was a model, Englehart, when she was 16, 17 years old, met Woody at a party. She made the first move on Woody Allen. He was 41 at the time. She dropped him a note. He took the note, read it, went, wow, this 16, 17-year-old, because I think she was turning 17 very soon. She was a senior in high school. Not a good look, Woody. Not a good look. And it's not. But is there a difference between 17 and 13? Yes, a big difference. Big, huge. I don't like it. The fact that a 41-year-old is dating a 17-year-old, I don't like it. If my 17-year-old was dating a 41-year-old, I would lose my mind. I wouldn't allow it. Now, she might be of age, okay? But she ain't ready for a 41-year-old. No way. I don't care how mature a 17-year-old is. They have no business being with the 41-year-old man at all. And I don't like the fact that Woody Allen does this. And Woody himself has expressed that. He said, listen, I like younger women. And if somebody has an issue with me liking a 17-year-old, for example, Soon-Yi Previn, the adopted daughter of Mia Farrow, I'm sure you know about this. And he said, judge me on that. And that's fine, because that's out there. But Woody has said, in no way, there is no way in hell I ever assaulted or hurt a young girl. Not once. So here, let's get into the doc about this. This doc centers around the allegations that Woody Allen, years ago, abused Mia Farrow's adopted daughter and Woody's adopted daughter. They adopted Dylan Farrow. Sorry, it took me a moment to remember her name. Dylan is Mia and Woody's adopted daughter. At one point in Woody and Mia's relationship, I know we're kind of going all over the place with this because there's so much information. But Woody and Mia, deep in their relationship, decided together to adopt Dylan. Woody said, fine, let's adopt a daughter. He preferred a daughter, a blonde daughter. It's weird, but hey, you know what? You walk into a store, you want to pick out a kid. I want a daughter and blonde preferably. Is that strange? Maybe. So they did. Dylan was adopted, and Woody paid a lot of attention to Dylan being a father figure. Of all the kids around, Woody really did prefer Dylan because that was sort of his own child. The other ones were Mia's kids. And then they had together, supposedly, Sasha at first was his name. Mia and Woody together had a son. He's called Ronan now, but in the beginning it was Sasha. And I believe they changed the name in between as well. It was something Mia liked to do. She liked to change the names of her kids. Not healthy. Okay. As hard as it is raising all those adopted kids, it's even more confusing changing their names several times. the big conspiracy about this is Ronan Woody's son, because he looks nothing like Woody. And this is the son, supposedly, that Woody and Mia had together. The only one is Ronan. The rumor is Ronan is Frank Sinatra's son, because Mia and Frank had, they were married at one point, and they still messed around afterwards, I guess. That's the rumor. Is it true? Probably. Frank married Mia when Mia was 18, 19 years old. I mean, that's what goes on, folks, in life. Hey, Frank Sinatra married a very young Mia Farrow. Elvis Presley married a very young Priscilla. Hell, Elvis was involved with Priscilla when she was very young. It goes on. Whether or not you want to believe it, this is the sort of thing that happens in the world. And Woody Allen isn't the only one. But this doc revolves around the allegations. Did Woody Allen molest Dylan? Yes or no? Because Dylan is pretty fucking believable. And from what I hear, this is just coming from me. All the research that other people have done, because this went to court. This was investigated. It was researched. And then you can come at me and say, well, who investigated it? And who was behind it? But there is no evidence whatsoever that Woody Allen molested Dylan. There isn't. There's just accusations, the word of mouth, the stories coming from Mia and Dylan, the daughter, against Woody and what he says happened that day. There's only one occurrence. Now, in the past, Woody has been, called inappropriate with the daughter, Dylan, and the way he treats her in the past, or has treated her in the past. What do you feel about that? In the doc, they expressed how Woody was inappropriate with Dylan when she was younger, and the way he treated her. Or is that just an overprotective father, a one-time father, doing what he thinks is right? There's a lot of layers to this story. Woody will say he gave special attention to Dylan because Mia was giving special attention to Ronan. So much so, Woody felt he needed to give extra attention to Dylan because Ronan was getting a lot of attention from Mia. And folks, on a side note, there is something about Ronan Farrow that creeps me the hell out. I don't know how you feel about Ronan Farrow. We all have our opinions on people. Whatever. He's in the spotlight now. Big journalist. He was really involved with the Me Too movement. A very bright young man. There's something that concerns me about Ronan. He has agendas. There's no doubt about it. And he is really, truly backed by his mother and shares the same thoughts as his mother, Mia. And he is definitely an offshoot of Mia Farrow. Mia sculpted Ronan. No doubt about it. And that guy, I don't know what it is about Ronan Farrow. I don't, and it's no fault to him at all. It's just, I don't know. I do take a step back and I go, I kind of see how Ronan despises Woody. Because Woody married his sister. And Woody was like a father figure to all of them eventually. I mean, he's around. He's dating their mother. So, of all the women in the world, Woody Allen, you had to pick Soon-Yi, the adopted daughter of Mia Farrow. Really? There was no one else? It was almost like Woody did it to stick it to Mia. The history between Mia and Woody, I guess, is dark. It is. It's the Hollywood game, relationship-wise. it's just a mess. God only knows the stories and the situations, the sexual games they played with one another. Mia cheated. Woody cheated. They had threesomes together with other couples and women in their beds and young girls in their beds. Mia participated in this stuff. I don't want to hear how high and mighty Mia Farrow is, because she's not. And no one is innocent in this story. I find both Mia and Woody extremely disturbing in their own right. No one is innocent in this story. So, from my perspective on this documentary, because I want it to be short, this is how I feel about it. How dare you, Mia, put out a doc about this anyway? I mean, basically, it's a spite piece to Woody Allen. Accusations about Dylan were investigated years ago and found that Woody had nothing to do with it. Why you keep bringing it up? What, it's almost, to me, it seems like Mia is coaching Dylan in a way to get back at Woody for what Woody did to Mia marrying Soon-Yi or just being in a relationship with Soon-Yi. It's almost like this thing with Mia to get back at Woody. Is Woody inappropriate with young girls, or more specifically, young women? Maybe. And that's enough to piss Mia off and to get back at him in this way? I don't know. If Woody is guilty of anything, it's being attracted to younger women. And marrying Soon-Yi, a bad look. I mean, a horrible look, Woody. It looks bad. And Mia was so pissed off about that. You're still paying for it, bro. You are? But Woody and Soon-Yi, they're still married 21 years. If you are in a marriage for 21 years, that's pretty impressive. I'm going on 21 this year myself. Okay? It's a strong bond. Is Woody a pedophile? Think about it, though. A pedophile. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But my gut tells me, no, he's not a pedophile. I did research on this 2 years ago, and I did research on it just recently. And Woody Allen likes young women. He does. Does he like young girls? I don't think so. So what has Mia been telling Dylan, her daughter, about Woody? Like, did Woody molest her? For me, I don't think so. I don't think that he did. So from my standpoint, my viewpoint, I feel about this, my opinion, then I have to believe that Dylan was coached and told, prodded, and leaned on to take in Mia's story about how inappropriate Woody was with her when she was younger, and how it snowballed, and then this sort of story came about where Woody visited Mia's house, and Mia wasn't there. No adults were there except for Woody. And everybody was on high alert, all the kids and nannies and whatnot, to keep an eye on Woody. Don't let him out of your sight. And they're saying it was that day that Woody molested Dylan in the attic. I don't buy it. It's just, there's something wrong with the whole story from what I've heard. It's like Woody had to do it in a very short period of time. And why would he do it at that time? There's no other history of Woody Allen having inappropriate relationships with young girls. Young women, yes. Young girls, no. And before I end this episode, because I can go on and on about this, and I don't want to. I just wanted to give a brief synopsis on how I feel about it. And I want to end it with this. I love how some Hollywood people, and this could be anybody really, say that when a child makes accusations against an adult sexually, you have to believe them. And I say, what? Hey, 85 to 90% of the time, if a kid says an adult touched me in an inappropriate way or did anything to me that was bad, okay, you believe them. You do. But that doesn't necessarily mean every time a kid says something bad happened to them, that is true. It ain't. And as much as you want to believe them because they're kids, and the thought of it, a kid being hurt in any way, enrages you, you really do have to take everything that was said on both sides and make sure that it's true. Don't be taking a kid's word 100%. Because if it's not true, you are destroying somebody's life here. And I heard a few Hollywood people say that if a kid brings allegations against an adult, you believe them. You have to, right? Oh, a kid wouldn't make that up. Yes, there's a possibility that a kid would make it up. There is. Unfortunately, that is the case. And any accusation will ruin an adult's life, especially if the adult is innocent. And another note, some actors and other people in the business hearing the allegations against Woody and what Dylan has said and what Mia has said, and then just shutting out Woody or saying, boy, I am disgraced and is so revolted that I worked with Woody Allen now. What? Get the hell out of here. Woody has said there's never been an allegation against me throughout my entire working career in Hollywood, and all the opportunities that he said he might have had to have inappropriate behavior with kids or anything. It's never come up. These are allegations by Dylan, Mia, and Ronan. And whatever you think about that and how much you believe it, that's fine. It really is. I mean, if you believe Dylan and Mia and all that, you have every right to. I mean, it might be true. This is just my opinion. I don't think it is. I don't. And it might be true. And if I'm wrong, so be it. Woody's a pedophile. He hurt Dylan. And Dylan is very believable. She believes in the story. There's no doubt about it in my mind. She's not lying. She believes it. Full-heartedly believes it. That Woody did hurt her. I mean, look at her. She's very believable. And it comes off that way. But from what I hear, there's a possibility that Mia coaches her kids on what to say, how to feel. That's what she does. And one of her adopted kids, Moses, who lived with Mia for a very long time, backed that up, that theory. And it's not a theory to him. She mistreated Moses and would coach him on telling stories that weren't true. So let's just put it this way. Moses Farrow and Dylan Farrow were brother and sister growing up in the same house. Okay? Dylan tells one story and Moses tells another. So Dylan is defending her mother, Mia, and Moses is defending the father figure in his life, Woody. Who's lying? One of them has to be lying. It all depends on which one you believe more. And in that in itself is your opinion. And is it right? We don't know. We don't. So, hey, leave comments and reviews on the show. Who do you believe? Do you believe both? I mean, there is a possibility that what Moses has said is true. That Mia mistreated him, put stories in his head, coached him, and he believes what he believes. And then what Dylan says, although influenced by her mother in some way, really was abused by Woody. So that is a possibility as well. That no one is really truly lying. Okay. It's just a messy situation. And is Woody Allen a pedophile? He's a weird little dude. There's no doubt about it. Great director, yes. Funny guy. I love his films. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a genius. And I highlighted him. I just think he's amazing. I trust Woody Allen more than Mia. I do. Why is that? There's something about that for me. I do a lot of analysis on people and sort of reading them. And for some reason, I do believe Woody more. I guess that's bad on me for those who don't agree with me, but that's where I stand. And hey, Woody Allen has done shady things. I mean, he married Soon Yi. It was very inappropriate. I agree. I don't think it's right. Of all the women in the world, Soon Yi, the adopted daughter of Mia Farrow? Really? And what's weird is Mia told Woody to start hanging out with Soon Yi. And that's when a relationship started, from what I hear. So Woody really didn't seek out Soon Yi. Mia pushed for Soon Yi and Woody to get close. And they did. They got really close. So, yeah, it's really strange. Very strange. And is Ronan Farrow the son of Woody or Frank Sinatra? Ha! That's interesting. Which one? Ronan looks more like Frank than Woody. He does. He does. He does. Take a look at Ronan Farrow. Even a little creepy. And he is creepy. I don't care what you say. You love Ronan? Great. He's a very intelligent young man. Got a lot going for him. Isn't he a bit creepy, though? No matter how you feel about him. He just shoots out creepy vibe. Does. I can't. Hey. Come on now. Peel off all the layers. There are agendas at hand here, folks. Ronan's like, fuck you, Woody, marrying my sister and making my mother miserable in the process. Fuck you, Woody. And I get it. I'd probably be the same way. When you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Of course he's going to defend his mother. They're very close. And Mia was very, very upset when Woody and Soon Yi became an item. And I get that too. Messy situation all around. And I was fascinated by the doc. But there's always two sides to the story. All the people that were interviewed in the Allen versus Farrow doc were all Mia Farrow people. So, come on. How much can you believe it? How much of it is true? All the people sticking up for Mia instead of Woody. And then all the people sticking up for Woody instead of Mia. It's hard to decipher whose opinion to take on and back. Because they all have their backers and fans and people that love them. But Hollywood is definitely another world. You know it and I know it. It's not like our world. Those of you who are not in, the elites as far as Hollywood or high society. It's a different world. Another way to look at it is how many people out there participate in that group sex thing that these people do. Maybe you do. And wow, that's amazing. Me? No. I've never even thought about it. It's never crossed my mind. These are just otherworldly people. They're filling their lives with all of these complicated situations. It just fuels them to go further on down the line, creating issues, creating problems, and just having this fucked up reality. And it settles, I guess. And then when the dust settles, you got to, do the right thing in your mind to settle differences. And this is what's going on in this doc. Mia wants to settle the score. And is Woody done? Because there are a lot of people in Hollywood, they don't want to work with him now that this doc came out. It's very convincing. Dylan is sitting in an interview, Dylan Farrow, the man accusing Woody of hurting her when she was younger. I mean, her eyes filled with tears, and you could tell the emotion and the memories, whether they're real or not, coming up. And how, Woody hurt her. And you go, by God, he did. No doubt about it. That fucking prick. But if you do research, okay, there's always the other side. Woody Allen. Weird guy. Weird little guy. Doing weird things. No doubt. But is he a pedophile? That is a huge accusation. There's a difference between a man being sexually attracted to a 17-year-old or a man being sexually attracted to a kid. These are two totally different things. That's what you have to consider. So, I hope you enjoyed the show. I really do. And I hope everybody out there is doing great. Me, I'm okay. I'm doing a lot of stuff around the house, and it feels good. I hope those of you out there are doing fine in terms of COVID. I think we're finally reaching the end, seeing the light. It's a great thing. I want to thank everybody out there who supports the show. I'm getting new subscribers on YouTube daily. And for that, thank you. I also want to express certain concern I have about the documentaries that I'm doing and sort of the responses that I'm getting. It's almost like people don't listen to all the shows I do, especially if they're in parts, and they make accusations to me that aren't true. And I just want to say, I hope that those of you who don't like me and my opinion, I am sorry. I have my opinions, and I just have the way I talk about them. You may not like that. And I apologize for that. If I offended you in any way, that's not my intention. It never is. And always remember, these are my opinions. They're not facts. So, there you go. I never say that's fact. Only when it is fact. If it's not, I say not a fact. So, please, accept my apology. And you know what? Hopefully, you're sorry for, insulting me. I've been insulted. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't look at the comment section on my show, it got to the point where I was getting negative comments 2-3 times a day. That wears on you. I don't care who you are. Okay? A lot of people are very passionate about certain docs I do. And if they don't agree with me, I hear about it. And if there's a few, whatever. But people get pretty personal. And wow, good for you. Hiding behind a computer. It hurts. It does. I'm not going to lie. I'm toughening up about it a bit, knowing that's just the way YouTube is. And I'm putting myself out there, and I guess that's just the way it goes. So I guess I should get used to it if I'm going to continue the show. Ha! I'm a very sensitive person, and I'm not going to cover it up. Okay? As an actor, I had to sort of open up wounds and open myself up to that. And I was just sensitive anyway. So, yeah. Oh boy. There you go. Hope everybody out there is doing great. Thank you for your support. Always go onto the website. Visit Facebook. Visit Instagram. Go to the website itself. Leave comments and reviews. On YouTube, that's where most people do it. It's been really nice, even the negative ones, to get comments. Hey, a comment is a comment. So, all you out there, hang in. Watch that movie. Enjoy the hell out of it. I've been trying to watch movies I've never seen yet. And there are only a handful of them that I've actually liked. But it is nice to sort of catch up on films I haven't seen yet. Ones that I should see. So I hope you do that too. I'm actually looking forward to watching a film tonight that I haven't seen in a while. And it's a Marlon Brando film. And I will put in a Brando film yearly. I try to watch something of his that, I'll cycle through. And I'm going to watch Last Tango in Paris tonight and enjoy it. Of course, Marlon Brando, right? And I haven't really brought up Marlon in a while. So shouting out Mr. Brando, the greatest actor ever. That's right. You know it, and I know it. Well, okay, maybe you don't know it, but I know it. And if you listen to my show, you know I appreciate that man and his acting. One of the greatest ever, and in my opinion, the greatest ever. Put in The Godfather. Yes. Am I wrong? Don Corleone. Right? The guy. Soft-spoken, but dangerous. The way Brando would play, right? Improvise. The way he took the cat and petted it. All improvised. The beauty of Marlon Brando and his acting. Never a dull moment, right? The guy was a genius. So thank you for listening. Put in that Brando film. Enjoy the hell out of it. And thank you for listening to my show. I hope everybody out there has a great day and a wonderful evening. God bless you. Have a good one.